Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about chapter 11, 16th problem. An electron and a photon each have a wavelength of 1 nanometer. Find their moments, the energy of the photon, see the kinetic energy of electrons. For the A problem, we have to find out their moments. To find the moments, P is equal to H divided by lambda. So H value will be 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 divided by lambda value is given as 1 nanometer. 1 nanometer can be converted into meter by multiplying it with 10 to the power of minus 9. So that you will get it as 1 into 10 to the power of minus 9. By simplifying it, we can have the answer as 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 25 kilogram meter per second. Then what is the B question? The energy of the photon. Energy of the photon E is equal to mc squared. Mark this as equation 1. But lambda is equal to h divided by mc. We have to find the value of m, so that mass. So lambda is equal to h divided by mc. From this formula, taking m to this side, you will get the remaining thing as h divided by c lambda. H divided by c lambda. Mark this as 2. Substitute 2 in 1. Equation 2, the value of m in the E is equal to mc squared formula. So that you will get it as E is equal to hc squared divided by lambda c. C and c will get cancelled, so that you will get it as hc by lambda. H value 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34, and c value and lambda value substitution means you will get the energy E as 1.24 kilo electron volts. That is the answer. And what is the C question asks? The kinetic energy of electron. Kinetic energy is equal to P squared divided by 2m formula. So that substitute the value of P and m, you will get the answer as 2.41 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. And this joules to be converted into electron volts. So that multiply it by 6.242 into 10 to the power of 18, so that you will get the answer as 1.51 electron volt. Kinetic energy will be 1.51 electron volt. This is about the 16th problem. Then we can go for the 17th problem. For what kinetic energy of neutron will the associated de Broglie wavelength be 1.40 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter? So B question is also find the de Broglie wavelength of neutron in thermal equilibrium with matter having an average kinetic energy of 3 by 2 kT at 300 Kelvin. So the given things are lambda is equal to 1.4 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter, and K is equal to P squared by 2m. But P is equal to H divided by lambda. So that this equation can be written as K is equal to H squared. Substitute the value of P here, so that you will get it as h squared divided by 2m lambda squared. So that substitute these values means 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 the whole square divided by 2 into 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 21 into 1.4 into 10 to the power of minus 10 the whole square will give you 6.686 into 10 to the power of minus 21 joules. Minus 21 joules. Okay, so go for the next one. T is equal to 300 Kelvin. So the given value is T is equal to 300 Kelvin. So K is equal to 3 by 2 kT, where the K value will be 1.381 into 10 to the power of minus 23 joule per Kelvin. So substitute this value, you will get the answer as K is equal to 6.21 into 10 to the power of minus 21 joules. Again, we have to find the lambda. Lambda is equal to h divided by root of 2mk. H divided by root of 2mk. This is the thing asking. Um, so that substitute the value of h, m, and k. You will get the answer as 0.145 nanometer. Okay, so this is the 17th problem. 18th problem. Show that the wavelength of electromagnetic radiation is equal to the de Broglie wavelength of its quantum photon. Then for a photon, P is equal to h nu divided by c. H nu divided by c. So h by p is equal to c divided by nu. That can be equal to the lambda. So that is the de Broglie wavelength of a photon equals to the wavelength of electromagnetic radiation of which the photon is a quantum of energy and momentum. Quantum of energy and momentum. So this is about the 18th sum. Then we can go for the 19th sum. What is the de Broglie wavelength of nitrogen molecule in air at 300 Kelvin? Assume that the molecule is moving with the root mean square speed of molecules. So the molecule is moving with the velocity speed of root mean square speed at the temperature atomic mass of nitrogen 14.0076 units. So the T is equal to 300 Kelvin. M is equal to 14.0076 into 10 to the into 1.661 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kilogram. And nu is equal to RMS speed of molecule at T. So K is equal to 1.5 kT. K is equal to 1.5 kT. So that lambda is equal to h divided by root of 2mk. Substitute the values and you will get the value lambda is equal to 0.038 nanometer. 0.038 nanometer. Then we go for the 20th sum. Estimate the speed with which electrons emitted from a heated emitter of an evacuated tube. So the emitted electrons will be emitted from heated emitter in an evacuated tube. Impinge on the collector, maintain at a potential difference of, it is having the potential difference of 500 volts with respect to the emitter. Ignore the small initial speeds of the electrons. Small speeds, starting speed will be negligible. So the specific charge E is that is E by M is given to be 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb kilogram inverse. The B question asked is use the same formula to obtain electron speed for a collector potential of 10 millivolts. Do you see what is wrong? In what way is the formula to be modified? So first question asked is potential difference V is equal to have 500 volts and E by M is equal to 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb kilogram inverse, and kinetic energy formula will be is equal to half mv squared is equal to evu. So V is equal to 2 ev divided by m the whole power half. Bring this V to this side. So that 2v is into e by m the whole power half. Substitute the values. 2 b value 500 into e by m value 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 the whole power half will gives you the answer as 1.366 into 10 to the power of 7 meter per second. So if we go for the second part, B part, the potential is given as V is equal to 10 millivolt. And then this millivolt can be converted into volt by multiplying it with by 10 to the power of 6, 10 to the power of 6. So that you will get the V as 10 to the power of 7 volt. So for this also, if we are using the same formula, then V is equal to 2V into E by M the whole power half. Substitute the values 2 into 10 to the power of 7 into 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 the whole power half. Then the answer you will get, simplifying, you will get it as 1.88 into 10 to the power of 9 meter per second. 9 meter per second. So this result is wrong because nothing can be more faster than light. Nothing can be more faster than light. The expression mv squared by 2 for energy can only be used in the non-realistic limit. For V is very much smaller than C. V is very much smaller than C. In the realistic limit, the total energy E is equal to mc squared is equal to m naught into 1 minus v squared by c squared. This formula can be used. So 1 minus v squared by c squared the whole power half. What is m? M is the realistic mass. M naught will be the mass of the particle at rest. So that kinetic energy formula is equal to mc squared minus m naught c squared. We will get the final answer as mc squared minus m naught c squared. So we can go for the next sum, 21st sum. So a mono-energetic electron beam with electron speed of 5.20 into 10 to the power of 6 meter second inverse is subject to a magnetic field of 1.30 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla, normal to the beam velocity. What is the radius of the circle traced by the beam given E by M for electron equals 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb kilogram inverse? Is the formula B? Question is the formula in A valid for calculating the radius of the path of 20 milli electron volt electron beam? So what we are doing in A will be the same formula can be used for the second one. That is the question. So the 20 milli electron volt electron beam. If not, in what way it is modified? So in what pattern we have to modify? So the first part we can do the first part now. Speed of an electron V is equal to 5.20 into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second. B is equal to, B is given as 1.30 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla. So E by M value is given as 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 Coulomb kilogram inverse. So what will be the charge? E will be 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. M will be 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kilogram inverse. So that we can use the formula F is equal to E into modulus of V vector into B vector. So that it can be written as EVB into sine theta. If we remove the vector symbol, we can write it as EVB sine theta. Then what will be E? E be the, sorry, theta. Theta is the angle between the magnetic field and beam velocity. Beam velocity, this the theta. Then the magnetic field is normal to the direction of the beam. Now the magnetic field is normal to the direction of the beam. If it is normal means the angle theta will be 90 degree. So that we can write this equation F is equal to EVB sine theta as F is equal to EVB. So mark this as equation 1. So the beam traces a circular path of radius R. So what the beam is doing, it is going in a circular path. So the radius will be R. So it is the magnetic field due to its bending nature that provides the centripetal force. So if it is going in a circular path of radius r means it will have the centripetal force. So if it is centripetal force means then force F is equal to mv squared divided by r. mv squared divided by r. So that this equation 1 can be written as E is equal to half mv squared. Half mv squared. So V is equal to V is equal to 2E divided by M. 2E divided by M. Okay. So that the whole power half. This half will take V squared. If we take square root means 2E by M the whole power half. That is also can be written as root of 2EM. Root of 2EM. What is the value of 2E? E will be equal to 20 into 10 to the power of 6. 20 into 10 to the power of 6 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 divided by M value will be 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31. So that you will get the final answer as 2.652 into 10 to the power of 9 meter per second. So this value can be equated to EVB. First equation 1 EVB. EVB is equal to MV squared by R. EVB is equal to MV squared divided by R. So if we take the R outside, R is equal to MV divided by EB. MV bring this EB to this side so that MV is equal to this V and this V get cancelled so that you will get only one V. So that MV by EB. So is equal to, if we bring the E by M downwards means V divided by E by M into B. B value will be 5.20 into 10 to the power of 6. It is given there in the sum. And then E by M value will be 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11. And B value is given as 1.30 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Substitute these values, you will get the answer as 0.227 meter. 0.227 meter. So that R is equal to 22.7 centimeter. If we convert it into centimeter means it will be 22.7 centimeter. So first part A is found out. Then we can go for the second part. B, E is equal to 20 milli electron volt. Milli electron volt I have to convert it into joule so that we can have it as 20 into 10 to the power of 6 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. So milli electron volts to convert it into joules means it should be multiplied with this values. Okay. So that this is incorrect because nothing can move faster than light. The expression mv squared divided by 2. mv squared divided by 2. That is V is very much smaller than C. V is very much smaller than C. So M is equal to M naught into 1 minus V squared by C squared the whole power half. V naught M naught into 1 minus V squared by C squared the whole power half. So what is M naught? M naught is the mass of the particle at rest. Then R is equal to MB divided by EB. MB divided by EB. So that this M can be written as M naught and V divided by EB into root of C squared minus V squared divided by C squared. Because it is in the formula instead of M we have to substitute M naught. So M naught into 1 minus V squared by C squared the whole power half. So you get that. You have to use the formula R is equal to M naught V divided by EB into square root of C squared minus V squared divided by C squared formula. This is about the 21st sum. Then we can go for the 22nd sum. An electron gun with its collector at a potential of 100 volt fires out electron in a spherical bulb containing hydrogen gas at low pressure 10 to the power of minus 2 meter of mercury. B is equal to the magnetic flux. B is equal to 2.83 into 10 to the power of minus 4 Tesla. Causes the path of electrons in a circular orbit of radius 12 centimeter. Determine the E by M from the data. We have to find the E by M. So the given thing is V given and B given. R is equal to 12 centimeter given. It is converted into meter. So 12 into 10 to the power of minus 2 meter. For electron, M is equal to M mass charge E and velocity will be V. So the kinetic energy E is equal to half mv squared is equal to small ev. So v squared is equal to, bring these things to this side. So 2ev divided by m. 2ev divided by m. Mark this as equation 1. So that magnetic field to its bending nature provides centripetal force. So that will be mv squared by r. mv squared force F is equal to mv squared by r. So centripetal force is equal to magnetic force. So that we equate these two things so that you will get it as mv squared by r is equal to evb. Keep this v this side and bring this v and this v get cancelled. One v get cancelled, so that remaining thing will be v is equal to ebr divided by m. ebr divided by m. Substitute this in equation 1. So that 2ev divided by m is equal to e squared b squared r squared divided by m squared. E squared b squared r squared divided by m squared, because here we are having v squared now, so multiply square, all these things will be squared. So that E by m is equal to 2v divided by b squared r squared, b squared r squared. Substitute the values, you will get the answer as 1.73 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb kilogram inverse. Coulomb kilogram inverse. So we can go for the next one. Yeah, X-ray produces a continuous spectrum of radiation with its short wavelength end at 0.45 Armstrong units. What is the maximum energy of a photon in the radiation? B question asked is, from your answer, guess what order of accelerating voltage is required in such a tube. Okay, so that here A is equal to lambda. So sorry, first question A, and lambda is equal to 0.45 Armstrong units. Armstrong units can be converted into meter by multiplying it with 10 to the power of minus 10. So that 0.45 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. H value, C value, these things we know. So E is equal to Hc by lambda. E is equal to Hc by lambda. Substitute the values, you will get the answer as E is equal to 27.6 into 10 to the power of 3 electron volts. This to be converted into kilo electron volt. So that remove the 10 to the power of 3 and then we can write it as 27 point, not removing, divided by 10 to the power of minus 3. So that you will multiply by 10 to the power of minus 3, so that you will get it as 27.6 kilo electron volt. So this is the maximum energy of the X-ray. This is the maximum energy of the X-ray. So we can go for the B part. Accelerating voltage provides energy to the electron for producing X-rays. To get an X-ray of 27.6 kilo electron volt, the incident electron must possess at least 27.6 kilo electron volt of kinetic electrical energy. Hence, an accelerating voltage of the order of 30 kilo electron volt is required for producing X-rays. So, how much energy is required? 30 kilo electron volts. So that this cannot be used. What is the question? From your answer, guess what order of accelerating voltage is required in such a tube. What we need is 30 kilo electron volt is required to produce an X-ray, producing an X-ray. Then we can go for the 24th sum. In an accelerator experiment on high energy collisions of electrons with positrons, a certain event is interpreted as annihilator of an electron proton pair of total energy 10.2 BeV into two rays of equal energy. What is the wavelength associated with each ray? 1 BeV is equal to 10 to the power of 9 electron volt. 10 to the power of 9 electron volt. So E is equal to 10 BeV. So multiply it with convert it into electron volt, multiply it with 10 to the power of 9. Okay, so that you will get the answer as 10.2 into 10 to the power of 9. If you want to convert it into joule, means you have to multiply it with 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 10. 10. So that E dash is equal to E by 2. So dividing, you will get the answer as 8.16 into 10 to the power of minus 10 joules. Next, H value and C value we know. We will have the formula E dash formula will be is equal to Hc by lambda. Hc by lambda. So if you want to find the lambda means bring this lambda to this side, left hand side, and E dash downwards means lambda is equal to Hc divided by E dash is equal to 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 into 3 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by 8.16. So substitute the values Hc and E dash means you will get the answer as lambda is equal to 2.436 into 10 to the power of minus 16 meter, minus 16 meter. So this is the wavelength associated with the gamma ray. Then we can go for the 25th sum. Power of a medium. The sum is not written here. You can see the book. So power of the medium wave transmitter P is equal to 10 kilowatts. So if we want to convert it into watts, it should be written as 10 to the power of 4 watts. And then if you joules per second also, watts can be written as joules per second, 10 to the power of 4 joules per second. So E is given as 10 to the power of 4. And then lambda is equal to 500 meter. Lambda is equal to 500 meter. We have to find E1. E1 is equal to Hc divided by lambda. Substitute the values. You will get the answer of E1 as 3.96 into 10 to the power of minus 28 joules. So that N E1 is equal to E. N E1 is equal to E means number of protons. Then N is equal, if you want to find N means N is equal to E by E1. E by E1. Then what is the value of E? 10 to the power of 4. E1 will be 3.96 into 10 to the power of minus 28. We have find out. So substitute these values, you will get the answer as 2.525 into 10 to the power of 31. So what is the answer? So N is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 34. So the energy E1 of a radio photon is very less, but the number of photons emitted per second in a radio wave is very large. Here, the E1 of a radio photon is very less. That is 3.96 into 10 to the power of minus 28. But the number of photons emitted N is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 34 plus 34. So that per second of in a radio wave is very large. So this E value and N value, comparing these two things, E1 is small and N is very large. So the existence of minimum quantum of energy can be ignored and the total energy of a radio wave can be treated as being continuous. So what we are doing is the existence of minimum quantum of energy will be ignored. Energy will be ignored because it is very less. And the total energy of radio wave can be treated as being continuous. So total energy will be a continuous thing. Then we can go for the B part. It will be I is equal to 10 to the power of minus 10 Weber meter inverse squared. A is equal to 0.4 centimeter squared. If we convert it into meter, means into 10 to the power of minus meter squared. Nu is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of 14 hertz. So that energy E is equal to H nu. Energy E is equal to H nu will be equal to 6.6 into 10 to the power of minus 34. And nu value will be 6 into 10 to the power of 14. So that energy will be is equal to 3.96 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. Minus 19 joules. So the total number of photons falling per second per unit area of the people. What is the N? N will be the total number of photons falling per second per unit area of the people, which is on the I. So you are taking the total energy for n photons. What will be the total energy for n photons? N photons will be E is equal to n into 3.96 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule second inverse meter inverse squared. So for energy, this value for n number of photons means multiply it with n. So that it will be 10 to the power of minus 10. If you substitute the values, you will get the answer as 2.52 into 10 to the power of 8 meter squared second inverse. Meter squared second inverse. So the total number of photons entering the pupil per second, entering our eye. The total number of photons entering our eye can be taken as N of A is equal to N into A. So substituting the values N and A, you will get the answer as 1.008 into 10 to the power of 4 second inverse. So this number is not as large as the one found in problem A, but it is large enough for the human eye to never see the individual photons, so that if this value is very much bigger, so that our human eye cannot see the individual photons. I cannot see the individual photons. That's it. So we have completed up to problem number 25. Students, please do it fast. Thank you.